And I'm so delighted to be among all of you. Anil Pradhanji, who is founder and CEO of Young Thinker Academy, my very, very worthy colleague, Soniji, who is also advisor with e-governance, and absolutely lovely children, some of the people, officials of Innovation Cell. Firstly, I wish to congratulate each one of you, all of you, on 159th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda ji, and it is celebrated as National Youth Day in India. Also, when we are talking about innovation and schools, gaming, innovation, that 2021 has been a unicorn year. So I don't remember who said it, but the best way to predict the future is to invent it. Peter Drucker, a very, very famous Australian American educationist, management consultant, and a guru, said, one key edge of our time is that countries will only survive based on their population's abilities to be innovative, flexible, and creative in an ever-changing world with disruptive technological advancements. To meet these challenges, the primary task of schools is to prepare students to participate creatively, innovatively in the knowledge economy. Considering the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister, India to become a $1 trillion economy and to fuel robust economic growth, we have to instill a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship from the school level. And innovation and entrepreneurship focused education will play a central role in developing crucial life skills to prepare students for a life beyond the classroom and will make India a world power. Schools must unleash full creative potential of young, impressionable minds, our children, to inquire, to question the status quo, innovate, create, and drive community well-being, societal development, and nation building. Schools should partner with local communities, artisans, cultures, and enterprise agencies. All the local initiatives to spark creativity in students. Let's embed and instill creativity at all levels of society. Creative children, creative youth, creative communities, creative places, and creative India. And finally, to quote a creative genius, Steve Jobs, stay hungry, stay full. Success and creativity begins where your comfort zone ends. And that is what has been proven by all our 4 children. So travel the path less traveled, enter uncharted waters, go for unmapped territory. Taking risks more than often is rewarding, truly rewarding, very, very rewarding. We have with us Mr. Anil Pradhanji. He is a National Youth Awardee 2021 by Government of India. The world is full of wonderfully creative, innovative people who have a passion for change, for making the world a better place, a passion to contribute, to make a difference, a passion to discover something new. Anil Pradhanji is one of them, an Indian engineer, innovator, revolutionary educationist. He started his entrepreneurial journey in 2015 by establishing IPS FRI to educate the less privileged children of Odisha through an interdisciplinary curriculum. Also known for designing innovative labs, teaching tools, indigenous rockets, and projects that solve real-life problems. In 2020, he started Young Thinker Academy, an online platform which offers personalized maker space for any kid, anywhere, anytime. It all began when his U19 team got invited by NASA NSFC for participating in the Human Exploration Rover Challenge 2021. In order to solve the challenge of teaching students present in different places during the lockdown, this platform was initiated. This team secured World Rank 3 in NASA HERC 2021 and made India proud by becoming first Indian team to do so. Mr. Anil believes in encouraging a child to go from just saying yes to learning to ask why. Children must be encouraged to be curious and ask innumerable whys and why nots. And that is the reason he is called the innovative man of India. We have with us Ayushi Singh, student of class 11th Canosa Convent Girls Inter College, Ayodhya. She developed a smart helmet laced with artificial intelligence sensors. She has specially designed it for military men. Advancement of this helmet includes night thermal vision with 360-degree rotation. It is bulletproof and also has GPS, which helps the headquarters to track soldiers. It is laced with satellite phone that enables effective communication. We have Tanmay Kumar Sethi, Class 9, DPS Rourkela, Odisha. He is an absolutely innovative student of Class 9. He has designed a dustbin that has been formally accepted by the government of Gujarat and in use. He has also been granted the patent for it. Ms. Pooja Arora, Toykathon team, MACAW, JNU New Delhi. Pooja is a winner of first edition of Toykathon 2020. She is a PhD scholar at JNU, holds MSc in International Political Economy from London School of Economics and Political Science and MA in Political Science from IGNOU. Our last but not the least, Ms. Vedika Jignesh Sonichi, our Toykathon team. She is currently studying in DPS Miapur, Hyderabad, Telangana. She is also a winner of the first edition of Toykathon 2020. Once again, a very, very warm welcome, our dear children, very, very bright children. And now I hand it over to Anil Pradhan ji. Thank you so much.
आप सभी को नमस्कार, जो आज हम लोग को यहाँ पे सुन रहे हैं और आज इन इनोवेटिव बच्चों से बात करेंगे और जानेंगे कि इन्होंने ऐसा क्या चीज़ बनाया है जो हमारे सोसाइटी को हेल्प कर सकता है। एक कहानी से मैं शुरू करूँगा और इस कहानी के माध्यम से हम जानेंगे कि इनोवेशन, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और इनका जुड़ाव स्कूल बच्चों के साथ कितनी अच्छी तरीके से अब इंडिया में हो रहा है। मैं बात करूँगा लॉकडाउन की। लॉकडाउन 2020 की बात करूँगा, जब बच्चे लोग घर पे बैठे हुए थे और स्कूल्स हमारे नहीं खुले हुए थे। एवरीथिंग वाज गोइंग ऑनलाइन और सारे बच्चे तब सोच रहे थे कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं इस लॉकडाउन में, घर पे बैठकर हम क्या कर सकते हैं। तब उड़ीसा की एक टीम हम लोगों ने क्रिएट की थी, जो गांव के बच्चे थे। उन्होंने सोचा क्यों ना हम नासा रोवर चैलेंज में इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट कराएं और वहाँ पे कैसे हम विन कर सकते हैं, जीत सकते हैं। एट दैट टाइम वी गॉट एप्लीकेशंस अक्रॉस उड़ीसा। उड़ीसा के गांव से भी बच्चों ने इनफैक्ट अप्लाई किया था। मैं कुछ बच्चों के बारे में, उनके बैकग्राउंड के बारे में आपको बताना चाहूँगा जिन्होंने इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट किया। देर वॉज वन बॉय, 19-year-old बॉय, जो पहले एक साइकिल शॉप पे काम करता था, साइकिल मैकेनिक के तौर पर, और उसने भी एप्लीकेशन भरा था। जब मैंने उनसे बात किया तो पता चला कि इज़ वेरी इनोवेटिव, बट प्लेटफॉर्म की कमी की वजह से वो गांव में कहीं पे छुपा हुआ था। उसको हम लोगों ने जब ढूंढ निकाला तो पता चला कि वो बहुत ही इनोवेटिव और बहुत कुछ अच्छा कर सकता है। उसकी बदौलत जो इंडियन टीम थी उसने आज वेल्डिंग किया। उस रोवर को जो वेल्ड करना था उस बच्चे ने उसको वेल्ड किया। उसके बाद एक और लड़की भी थी जो एक और वेल्डिंग दुकान पर काम करती थी। पिताजी नहीं थे और उसको कुछ एक जॉब चाहिए था उस समय पे, क्योंकि घर चलाना था। उस लड़की को भी हमने अपने टीम में लाया, उसने पूरा फिटिंग का काम किया जो रोवर इंडिया से गई। तो इस प्रकार के जो चेंज मेकर हैं, आप जैसे जो बच्चे हैं, वो पूरे इंडिया में हैं। इनको प्लेटफॉर्म देना और आगे ले जाना ही सबसे बड़ा काम है, और जो अभी भारत सरकार, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन, इस चीज़ पर बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है। ये जो टीम को हमने क्रिएट किया था उस समय इतना पोटेंशियल नहीं दिख रहा था। जब ट्रेनिंग हुई 1 साल बाद, इन लोगों ने जब इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट किया तो बिल्कुल वर्ल्ड रैंक 3 आई। पहली बार किसी टीम ने एशिया से इस तालिका में नाम रखा और इन बच्चों ने इंडिया को प्राउड फील करवाया। इसी के जैसे बहुत सारे चेंज मेकर्स अब इंडिया में मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन द्वारा आगे बढ़ाए जा रहे हैं और इस प्रकार के आगे चेंज मेकर्स हो रहे हैं। आज हमारे साथ वैसे ही कुछ चेंज मेकर्स हैं जिनसे हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं। हमारे साथ तन्मय हैं जो राउरकेला से हैं, आयुषी जो हैं उन्होंने स्मार्ट हेलमेट बनाया है, पूजा हैं और वेदिका हैं जिन्होंने टॉयकाथॉन में विन किया है। कुछ ऐसे इनोवेटिव टॉयज बनाए हैं जिससे कि हम लोग बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीख सकते हैं, खाली खेल ही नहीं सकते, सीख सकते हैं। तो आज इन सभी बच्चों से हम बात करेंगे और इनसे सीखने की कोशिश करेंगे और इनसे जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि इन्होंने। तो सबसे पहले हम चलेंगे आयुषी के पास और जानेंगे कि उनके इनोवेशन क्या है। जी आयुषी।
Good afternoon, honorable dignitaries and my co-panelists. It's an honor for me to be joining the event today. I am Ayushi Singh of class 11th from Kanasa Convent Girls Inter College, Ayodhya. I am a young innovator who is working on my current project, which is HIMGTC, Helmet for Indian Military with Geolocational and Transmissional Capabilities. It can be emerged to be having a significant place in Indian defense sector. The inspiration behind this innovation for Army came from my grandfather, Brigadier A.R. Singh, who was a true patriot. He lost his life during Kargil War. From there, I had that mindset that I wanted to build something to strengthen Indian Army so that nobody lose their loved ones like I did while protecting their nation. My helmet is laced with AI sensors. It is laced with satellite phones, which enables communication between the military troops and headquarters. It is also laced with GPS, which helps the command center to operate with their troops by providing them exact coordinates. It also enhances their visionary power with its night and thermal vision capabilities. I'm still working on developing a carbon fiber based polymer which is capable enough to resist a 9 mm bullet with point blank range. Now, coming to the topic schools, innovation, games, and curriculum. Well, I opine that schools play an important role in shaping a student into ideal responsible citizen who will play a significant role in the development of nation. Schools help in holding the connection to its cultural roots and make a student proud of their cultural heritage. Now that we are talking about culture, it will be unfair to skip our very own Indian mythology. India has been a land of innovations with the emergence of new technologies. World since ancient times has been looking upon India for innovations and tech advancements. In ancient India, science and mathematics were extremely developed. Ancient Indians contributed greatly in the field of medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and other branches of science. From the discovery of medicine to solving linear and quadratic equations, atomic theory, surgery, various other developments were done in that period. Some of the glorifying names are of Aryabhat, Chakra, Ramanujan, Kanad, Shushruth, and many more. Well, it is quite evident that nowadays we are lagging behind because academic pressure has led to poor time management among students, which has further led to neglect their personal interest. Today, students are less concerned about innovations because they are a part of race that is running behind the completion of lengthy syllabus. That they totally rely on internet for retaining information rather than thinking themselves. This practice is making them mentally inactive, and this way they lose their creative abilities, their own point of view, and they're just simply mimicking other people's ideas. Thus, in order to fill up these gaps, I believe that courses based on facts and theoretical knowledge that we already have in our curriculum needs to be revised, and application based knowledge should be introduced into the curriculum to make it less time consuming, less boring, and easily grasping. When students will learn to apply knowledge on real life issues, they will tend to find their solutions more hastily and by a variety of techniques. I firmly believe that there should be some creative ways to make the understanding of the concepts by students much easier and in a more creative manner. This can be done by the introduction of a lot of games and fun activities. Researchers show that children who participate in brain games for a few hours a week have experienced lasting benefits. Research suggests that once people learn to have better control over their attention and mental processing abilities, they can apply what they learned from the brain games into day to day life activities. Therefore, here I am suggesting some practical games whose implementation does not require any additional funds and are equally beneficial for students. See, Sharty table is a really fun activity to do and it increases reception. It improves processing speed and peripheral vision. Hand gesture again is a very interesting thing to do, and 10 out of 100 people can do it properly because it requires a lot of concentration. Colorful is actually really cool and fun activity to activate your brain, and it is proven that it increases concentration and multitasking. Thus, it will lead them to think in a more creative manner, resulting into birth of emerging innovations in technologies. See, I believe teachers play a key role in guiding students through the learning process, and by giving special attention to nurturing of students' interest, and self-confidence, they can boost child's creativity. With the introduction of technology, teachers can spend less time lecturing entire classes and more time mentoring students as individuals and tutoring them in ideas in which they need like help or seek additional challenges. I also believe that assessment should be expanded beyond simple text scores to instead provide a detailed continuous profile of students' strengths and weaknesses. Teachers, parents, and individual students can closely monitor academic progress and use the assessment to focus on areas that need improvement. Tests should be an opportunity for students to learn from their mistakes, retake tests, and improve their scores. And the students who already have insight to any new idea should have access to open labs with experts who can provide them with adequate finance and proper guidance. Therefore, there is a need for establishment of such open labs by government at local levels to make them easily accessible by young students. There should be establishment of science centers at district headquarters to be easily accessible where anyone, regardless of any differences, can submit their innovative ideas, and from there panel of experts can call upon the really innovative ones. This way we will be able to have more ideas on table to work on. Well, I believe that there are a lot of creative people who dwell within the country. They may not belong to science field, but they have ideas regarding their fields which may turn out into something really useful. Therefore such cells would be of great help. According to survey conducted by NSO, by the government, Indian government, 1 out of every 8 Indian student enrolled in government school drops out before the completion of their knowledge, and over 62% of all dropouts occur at school level. So while talking about these saddening dropout rates, I'll not forget to mention the Indian startup and innovation landscape has over the past few years seen young innovators blossom. While some of them have found simple and quirky innovations to solutions to problems that have stumped adults, others have triggered dialogue on important social and environmental issues. Their keen observations combined with deep sense of empathy and flair for action has enabled them to make long strides towards creating an impact. At last, I would like to say that we must work out on the ecosystem which is capable of providing expert assistance from research centers, universities, and industries to shape up the innovative ideas for the development of the country. Before ending my words, I would like to convey my regards to my principal, Sister Shanta Sharma, all my teachers, Arvind sir. My special thanks to my mentor, Dr. Hemlata Shukla, who is such a positive personality. She kept guiding me from the very beginning to the end, and I'm really grateful for that. She has always been the guiding light for me throughout my journey. Last but not the least, I would like to thank my parents, Srimati Poonam Singh and Mr. Ajay Kumar Singh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayushi. It was really nice listening to you, and the level of knowledge that you have from this young age is commendable. अभी से देख के समझ में आता है कि फ्यूचर इंडिया और आने वाला जो इंडिया है वो कितना बदलने वाला है, बिकॉज यू आर द लीडर्स ऑफ टुडे. ओके, और चेंज जो टुमारो होने वाला है वो बहुत ही अच्छा दिखता है. एंड आई मस्ट कमेंड द इनोवेशन दैट यू हैव डन. Such a nice work and
Thank you.
congratulations. Now we'll directly go to Tanmay from Odisha और तन्मय से जानेंगे उनके इनोवेशंस के बारे में. तन्मय ने एक बहुत अच्छा इनोवेशन बनाया है जो नॉर्मली लोग अपने लोकेलिटी में यूज़ करते हैं, विच इज़ बेसिकली एक मॉस्किटो किलिंग नेट जैसा कुछ बनाया है. मैं जैसा इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं खुद अभी तन्मय से सुनना चाहता हूँ कि वो इनोवेशन क्या है जिसको पेटेंट भी मिला है और बहुत कुछ हो चुका है. यदि तन्मय जैसे यंग बच्चे यदि इंडिया में पेटेंट्स बना रहे हैं, पेटेंट ग्रांट हो रहा है, तो इंडिया कहाँ तक पहुँच सकता है. सो तन्मय, पहले आपके पास पहुँचेंगे और जानना चाहेंगे कि ये इनोवेशन क्या है. तन्मय, ऑन टू यू नाउ.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir and ma'am. Myself, Tanmay Kumar Sethi. I am a class 9 student from Delhi Public School, Ravla. I got innovated and got interested in scientific things from my class 6 teacher. So there was an exhibition named Abdul Kalam Ignite Awards, which was organized by National Innovation Foundation India. It was a science exhibition where all over India 12 participants were selected, had to speak some lines about their prototypes. I was also one of them who secured All India record. My innovative idea was insect killing dustbin. It was a type of dustbin which used to kill insects, flies, and mosquitoes, which hovers above the garbage inside the dustbin. A patent was also made for my prototype. बेसिकली मैंने जब देखा कि हमारे लोकेलिटी में जब गार्बेज कलेक्टर आता है एंड जब गार्बेज लेकर जाता है एंड एक जगह जहाँ पर डंप करता है तो फिर बहुत सारे फ्लाइज मस्क्यूटोज एंड वाटर पोल्यूशन बहुत होता है तो वो एनवायरमेंट को भी हार्म करता है एंड डिजीजेस भी फैलाता है तो मैंने सोचा कि अगर कैसे भी करके मतलब हमारे लोकेलिटी में ही और हम कुछ भी कैसे करके हमारे लोकेलिटी में ही अगर फ्लाइज एंड इंसेक्ट्स को अगर गार्बेज से ही मार देंगे तो वो हमारे लोकेलिटी भी क्लीन रहेगा और नियर बाय एनवायरमेंट भी क्लीन रहेगा in scientific things risks are necessary if we want to succeed in our idea so we can try to reduce the potential for a failure but when we fail, we get to know a lot of things from our mistakes and make our idea the best. Thank you.
तन्मय, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपके इनोवेशन के बारे में जानकर। कैसे आपका इनोवेशन हमारे लोकेलिटी में यूज़ हो सकता है, इन्वायरमेंट में यूज़ हो सकता है और इन्वायरमेंट को अच्छा बना सकता है, जहाँ पे हमारा एक कम्युनिटी या फिर एक सोसाइटी अच्छी तरीके से रह सकता है। और ये जो तन्मय का जो इनोवेशन है ये भी दर्शाता है कि कैसे हमारे बच्चे हमारे सोसाइटी के बारे में बहुत कंसर्न्ड हैं, प्रॉब्लम्स को भी देखते हैं, खाली प्रॉब्लम्स को देखते नहीं, सॉल्यूशंस भी निकालते हैं और सॉल्यूशन को निकाल के पेटेंट भी करते हैं। सो इसी प्रकार के बच्चे यदि हर शहर, हर गली, हर मोहल्ले से निकलेंगे तो हमारा इनोवेशन इंडेक्स बहुत ऊपर चले जाएगा। थैंक यू सो मच तन्मय। अब हम सीधा चलेंगे पूजा के पास, पूजा अरोड़ा के पास, और वहाँ से जानना चाहेंगे कि उनका जो गेम है, जो गेम उन्होंने टॉयकाथॉन के लिए डेवलप किया था, जिसके लिए इनको अवार्ड भी मिला है, और ये बेसिकली एक पीएचडी स्कॉलर हैं, तो जानना चाहेंगे कि पूजा आपने ऐसा क्या बनाया था। और आई एम रियली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड कि उस गेम को मैं खुद भी खेलूं। अप टू यू पूजा ना।
Thank you, Anil ji. I think आप जो last पे demonstration देखेंगे, you will understand the game better and enjoy it. And let me begin by stating that I feel very honored to be in the presence of such innovators, such great innovators. I would like to begin by thanking the organizers of this event on behalf of Team Macau, that is me, my colleagues Amita Jain and Moksh Thakral. It is serendipity to find such effectively organized events with fruitful outcomes. So thank you, Ministry of Education and DPIIT for organizing Toykathon. I'm a PhD scholar at JNU and the German Institute for Global and Area Studies. My journey has taken me across different education systems and universities. I studied at Lances Convent Prashant Vihar, Delhi, where I was one of the few people with a passion for social science. I scored 90% in CBSE class 10th and chose social science because I was interested in history, culture, politics, and economy of India and the world. And since then, my journey as a student of social sciences has taken me to the Delhi College of Arts and Commerce, University of Delhi, where I studied political science, the London School of Economics, UK, where I studied international political economy, and now to JNU and GIGA, where I study investment diplomacy. I enjoy science fiction and mythology, and that is the inspiration for the game that we've designed. I've always enjoyed creativity and new discoveries. I would rather learn something new, write, or create than study for an exam, to be honest. So perhaps the most important learning to be innovative is to chase excellence and passion and not marks or exams or grades. What one needs to remember is that curiosity is an attitude and a way of life. One must never say that I have learned everything and there is nothing left for me to learn. That is the antithesis of education. And that is the lesson I have learned from my supervisors, Professor Amitabh Mattu, Professor Amrita Narlikar, and Himanshu Shukla sir. My inspiration lies with people like Nikola Tesla, Ada Lovelace, Bertrand Russell, Albert Einstein, Homi Bhabha, Swami Vivekananda,
C. Rajagopalachari, Jiddu Krishnamurthy, George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, and our beloved Prime Minister Modi, the pragmatic genius. It is conventional to consider social sciences and natural sciences divorced from each other, existing in silos, only meeting at the policy level. But I and my teammates do not think that is true. If we look at the world around us, we will see that certain technological innovations have shaped the world, affecting society and changing the way we live, right from the Iron Age to the age of plastic and the internet. And in certain situations, social events have caused inventions and discoveries. Case in point, geoengineering. Therefore, it is not our philosophy to look at an event, a problem, or a situation from a single point of view. Interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary approaches to problems yield effective results. When we were in school, medical, commerce, humanities, PCM was studied as if there were walls between these subjects. But we were always interested in the interaction between different silos of knowledge, inspired by the ancient Indian thinkers who came up with the schools of Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Mimamsa, the Buddhists, and the Upanishads. Being a history student gave me access to this vast knowledge that existed in ancient India. Of course, I'm not an expert on the subject, but the said texts are inspirational for anyone trying to make sense of the world. Look at the major problems that India has to solve today, from climate change to national security, to agriculture, to energy efficiency, to educational and intellectual advancement. None of these problems can be solved without understanding the social events around them. For example, anyone working on increasing agricultural yields would need to understand cropping patterns, history of the said cropping patterns, and then understand how to cause a shift from water guzzling crops to crops that perform well without overexploitation of water resources in water scarce areas. As our Prime Minister rightly states, Jal hi Jeevan hai. Now, these are the things that ancient Indians were experts at. Multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches to several problems. And that is the philosophy that inspires Team Macau. The game that we have designed introduces a beginner to India's economy, culture, politics, geography, and history. That is basically foundational social science in a box, with elements of mathematics and strategy. After all, no Indian game should be devoid of the element of strategy, especially since the great game of chess was invented in India. Think of a state, say Uttar Pradesh. What is the economic mainstay of UP? What is the outstanding contribution to Indian culture that UP has made? What are its geographical features? One must know these basics at an elementary level for all states of India to be able to become a good citizen who contributes to the country. Our games makes that introduction while making sure people understand elections and then makes them compete for states and seats to make them understand how complex, diverse, and beautiful India really is. The second offshoot of our game is a counterfactual history of post-independence India. Have you ever thought what would have happened if Prime Minister Shastri had lived through Tashkent? Or the great scientist Homi Bhabha had materialized India's nuclear program after independence? Well, our game gives you a chance to imagine these possibilities, where you can choose from an alternative history designed by us or create your own. It is basically intellectual gymnastics. We're also working on another game where we will be solving crucial problems of physics. So enjoy the game. And let me present a video explaining Sansad. I request the team at MIC to please play the video.
To play Sansad, you will need at least 2 players, but the more you have, the better. Start by dealing 1 identity card to each player, which will contain a special power the player can use in any of the rounds, and 3 missions. There are two ways to win the game. Either complete your mission or get the parliamentary majority of 273. Now randomly select the states that will go for elections in a round and place them face down in the middle of the table. The sequence of picking will determine the order in which the selected states will go for elections. Players can decide whether to reveal the name of the states in the beginning or open them one at a time. Deal the equal number of aspect cards to each player and place the remaining state and aspect cards aside. Aspect cards will be used by players at the end of the game to claim a state. A player will need to give at least 2 aspect cards of a state to claim it. Now deal action cards equal to 3 times the number of states going for elections to each player and place the remaining cards at the side. No new action cards will be distributed in the middle of a round. Action cards earn or lose votes for the players. Use action cards in the form of positive votes, negative votes, or special propaganda like defection and anti-incumbency to reduce the votes of other players. Announce the state first going for election by calling out its name. The first player starts by playing an action card. It will reveal their vote count for the election-bound state. This will be followed by other players. Continue until elections are conducted across all states picked for the round. Game will continue until elections are held in all the states and union territories of India. A player or a group of players with at least 273 votes will win the game.
I hope you liked it. And back to Anilji.
So Pooja, it was really nice learning about your game Sansad and must commend. और इसी गेम से समझ में आता है why you were the winner of Toykathon और बहुत अच्छा लगा और कभी मैं भी इस खेल को खेलना चाहूँगा और ये जो गेम है ये जो खेल है यह भी दर्शाता है कि हमारे देश के बच्चे कितने इनोवेटिव हैं खुद एक एक गेम्स को इनोवेट कर रहे हैं नए नए गेम्स को लेके आ रहे हैं और इस गेम के माध्यम से खाली हमारे बच्चे खेल नहीं रहे हैं वो बहुत सारी चीज़ों को सीख भी रहे हैं सो ऐसा हमने एक गेम देखा जिसको पूजा ने बनाया है अब हम डायरेक्टली चलेंगे वेदिका के पास जो एक स्कूल स्टूडेंट है और उन्होंने भी कुछ एक इनोवेटिव गेम को डेवलप किया है जिसकी वजह से वो टॉयकाथॉन की विनर रह चुकी हैं सो वी विल डायरेक्टली गो टू वेदिका विघ्नेश शी इज जॉइनिंग अस फ्रॉम हैदराबाद वेदिका ऑन टू यू नाउ
Namaste, Anil Pradhanji and dear panelists. It is indeed a privilege for me to be sharing my views on innovation on such a distinct and honorary platform. I got introduced to innovation during design thinking workshops held at my school and also experienced the processes of brainstorming, empathizing, ideating, and then testing the prototype, making improvisations to the prototype, to delivering a sales pitch to the manufacturers during the Government of India initiative Toykathon, where our team, which includes all my maths teachers, art teachers, my principals, and my fellow students, we designed a math integrated board game, a mythological board game which is based on the war strategy Chakravyuh, designed by Dronacharya for the famous Battle of Kurukshetra in Mahabharata. I request the team to play the video of the game. That was our Atmanirbhar initiative, TW. In the present scenario, it is extremely important for schools to have a culture of innovation where it is more relevant for the students to know what to do beyond what they know. Our generation is the builder of future India. But when a student today gets puzzled, their first response towards the problem is to search up the answer on Google rather than analyzing the situation and thinking for an answer, to think beyond what is being visible, what is beyond, to think beyond the obvious. Students have become Googlers, I would say, instead of thinkers. There is a dearth of thinking process in students today. India is a land of innovations. The zero was invented in India. USB was innovated in India. And we need to get back on track. Atmanirbhar is the new buzzword. And to make India Atmanirbhar, to become an exporter from importer, building innovation ecosystem is extremely important right from the childhood. This would enhance creativity and thinking process in our students. This would also ensure that we students not only look forward to problems, but also be troubleshooters, also be the problem solvers. I would like to talk about the Bloom's taxonomy, which is a hierarchical framework of cognition and learning objectives. So basically, it's a triangle with 6 levels. The first level is remember, where you just recall facts and basic complex, where you duplicate, which is rote learning. 80% of the students in India are there on level 1, which is remember, which is rote learning. The second level is understand, where you understand those facts, where you classify them, you explain ideas and concepts which you remembered in the first level. The third level is apply, where you use the same information which you remembered, then understood in new situations. You execute that information, you implement it. The fourth level is analyze, where you draw connections among ideas and you differentiate, you relate them with ideas, you compare and contrast them. The fifth level is evaluate, where you justify a stand or a decision, where you appraise it, you argue for that decision, where you value that decision. And the sixth and the most powerful level is create, where you produce new and original work, where you design a new solution to the old problem that honors and acknowledges the previous failures. So, innovation is the most important stage. It holds a very big importance for mankind. There is an old African proverb which says that it takes a whole village to raise a child, which means it is the collective efforts of parents, school teachers, and society to provide a child with the power to create, with the power to innovate. And building innovation ecosystem starts from home, then school, and gradually the society. Yes, school education immensely contributes towards shaping the mindset of an individual. Introduction to the concepts of ideation, innovation, and entrepreneurship in school itself will certainly prepare our students to convert challenges into opportunities. It will also make us aspirational and increase our appetite for risk.
थैंक यू सो मच वेदिका। आई कुडंट बिलीव माय आईज, क्या गेम बनाया है आपने। बहुत बढ़िया गेम बनाया है। और ये एक ऐसा, इस गेम को देख के मेरे को इतना मज़ा आया, मैंने बताया कि यार क्या एक इंडिजीनियस गेम इतना अच्छा हो सकता है। और मैं जल्दी से इसी चीज़ के लिए प्रार्थना करूँगा कि ये गेम कितने जल्दी मार्केट में आए। और ज़रूरत थी इंडिया को कि इस प्रकार के गेम को डेवलप कराया जाए, इस तरह प्रकार के इंडिजीनियस गेम को डेवलप कराया जाए। इसमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ मैथ्स ही नहीं था, हमारे महाभारत के बारे में भी था। तो बच्चे, जो आजकल के जो बच्चे हैं जो महाभारत इतनी अच्छी तरीके से देखते नहीं हैं या पढ़ते नहीं हैं, इनको गेम खिला के हम महाभारत सिखा सकते हैं। और वेदिका, आपका आइडिया बहुत अच्छा लगा मेरे को। अब हम लोग चलते हैं क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन की तरफ, और डायरेक्टली हम चलेंगे आयुषी के पास, जिनके हेलमेट के बारे में आज हम लोगों ने सुना। बहुत ही अच्छा हेलमेट जो हमारे मिलिट्री के लिए उन्होंने बनाया, 360 डिग्री कैमरा और पता नहीं तमाम चीज़ों से लैस ऐसी कैमरा उन्होंने डेवलप किया। तो उनके लिए एक सीधा सा क्वेश्चन, बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन, कि हमारे स्कूल एजुकेशन में ये कैसे प्ले कर सकते हैं एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल हमारे डिज़ाइन थिंकिंग एबिलिटी और हमारा जो परसेप्शन रहता है दुनिया के प्रति, उसको कैसे चेंज कर सकते हैं। सो सवाल आयुषी जी के लिए अब डायरेक्टली हम आपसे सुनेंगे।
Well, school education is a medium of complete development of a child, I believe. Here, the child mental development, the physical development, character development, and most importantly, intellectual development takes place. Children have the highest perceptual capacity. It has been proved that what an adult understands in 10 minutes, a child understands it in less than 5 minutes or in even lesser time than that. School education helps in defining one's personality and in coping with life circumstances. The transition from book literacy to the experience of existence has created a new wave of shift in schools. School education prepares students for higher studies by fostering their skills. Students are tracked by ability and achievements in school. Participation and practice makes the student perfect. School education provides the platform to the students that develop analyzing, evaluating, and creative skills. While school education creates an environment that encourages students to think and be more innovative. Well, knowledge of different subjects is very important. In schools, students share their practical experiences with their schoolmates who are coming from different social backgrounds and can share their learning as well as day-to-day experiences. Thus can develop thinking abilities among themselves. Thank you.
बहुत ही शानदार आयुषी, अच्छा लगा आपको सुनकर और बहुत ही सटीक उत्तर कहेंगे. And now we'll directly move to Tanmay, who have developed a dustbin, an innovative dustbin, and done the IPR and whatnot. So, Tanmay, the question for you is why risk appetite is necessary for entrepreneurs and how to inculcate these among students, because it has already been inculcated in you. तो दूसरे बच्चों तक इसको कैसे पहुंचाएं? On to you,
Yes,
Tanmay.
sir. Risks are necessary if we want to progress in our plan. We don't know how the future will play or if our idea will be successful. We can plan ahead to help to reduce the potential for failure. We will never know unless we try, and we can at least set ourselves up to handle different situations. Not at all risks that we take are good ones, and when we fail in our plan, we get to know a lot of things from our mistakes and adjust our strategy. Innovation cannot occur unless there is an element of risk to begin with. When innovating, the level of risk can be lessened by ensuring that all possible calculations have been made to evaluate whether it is the best trend moving to move forward. Without risk, entrepreneurs will not experience failure and therefore will not learn from their mistakes. Of course, it is possible to learn from positive experience too. However, failure teaches us a very powerful lesson that tends to stay with us for life. In addition, taking risks teaches us important skills such as how to calculate contingencies, contingencies as well as strategic thinking and planning. Risk taking enables and encourages innovation, which can be an important product or service differentiator. Failed risks are not always negative. Sometimes they provide the most valuable business lessons an entrepreneur can learn. Failure helps us to shape future plans, eventually lead to growth. Business leaders accept risks as a cost of opportunity and innovation. They know it cannot happen if you will not accept risks that your undertaking might fail. The level of risks may be lessened, however, if you make all possible calculations and evaluate which options are best before proceeding to the next step. The more clearly you can elucidate your idea or a specific direction, the more likely you are to succeed if it is risky. Thank you.
थैंक यू तन्मय. अब हम पूजा के पास चलेंगे और पूजा से पूछेंगे कि इतना इनोवेटिव जो प्रोडक्ट आपने बनाया, इतना इनोवेटिव आपने गेम बनाया है और हर बच्चा जो आज इस प्रेजेंटेशन को देख रहा होगा और आपके वीडियो को देख रहा होगा तो वो यही सोच रहा होगा कि इतना इनोवेटिव कैसे बने और कैसे डेवलप करें अपनी क्रिएटिविटी और ऐसे गेम्स और ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स. सो पूजा, ऑन टू यू नाउ.
तो आई वुड लाइक टू से कि क्रेडिट सिर्फ मेरा नहीं है, मेरे टीममेट्स का भी है, मोक्ष और अमिता. उन्हें ड्यू क्रेडिट. आई होप दे आर वाचिंग. Shout out. Now, the question that you asked me is basically how can one become innovative and develop creativity? People say that innovation and creativity comes from within. I disagree. It is a product of observation and something that has to be cultivated. I ask everyone to just look you. There are so many problems to make life better for everyone. You need to solve these problems. The hurdle to solving these problems lies within your fear. So, first, get rid of your fear. It is useless in all circumstances, except perhaps as a primal response in a jungle. I scored 83% in class 12th. That is a below average score. I didn't care for it then, I don't care for it now. Because my purpose in life is different. We're scared of losing, of failure, of being lost or unemployed. We live in a world where we are overloaded with information and glamour. India has a population of over 130 crores with a wonderful demographic dividend. Competition is high everywhere. There are so many people chasing the same positions. We live in a world where certain exams have a cult following of their own. So, how does one become innovative and creative? Very simply, search for the truth and make your passion your dharma and karma, and that is your religiosity. Nikola Tesla, for example, imagined the modern world way before anyone else. He was unrecognized and lived in penury. You need to be able to imagine the absolutely outrageous. For example, and let me do this for the purpose of this wonderful panel, harnessing fusion energy on a micro level, creating an edtech company with the largest valuation and value addition on the planet, or having an Indian citizen as the first person on Mars or Europa. Imagination is key. To look at the potential in the smallest of things, including protons and quarks, that is the key. Ancient Indian philosophers talked about quarks and the origin of the universe in the Upanishads. Ancient Indians were geniuses at metals. We have to be confident about what we think is right, what we think is genius. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to stop chasing glamour, fame, money, and look for that tunnel that leads to the truth. And that is the function of a precise, scientific Indian mind. We are good at it and we should do it. We should be the ones sending innovations out to the world. Let people talk. Just work for the future. That's what I'd have to say on the topic.
Thank you so much, Pooja. It was nice and it was really inspiring listening to you. Now we'll directly go to Vedika, who is the winner of Troikathon, and would like to ask, like, how introduction to the concept of innovation and entrepreneurship in school curriculum will prepare students like you to face challenges and emerge as entrepreneurs. How can we contribute as an creators economy?
I think to achieve this, the first and the foremost step should be that school learning should be practical. Can you imagine someone teaching you to swim or drive a vehicle within four walls of a classroom? It is impossible. You have to get into the water to learn swimming and be out on the road to learn driving. So, school learning should also be practical. Students need to have hands on learning experience. Science classes should be taken in labs rather than four walls of a classroom. I believe that practical learning is essential because it has allowed me to think past theories we have been taught. And this allows for innovation and a better understanding of the fundamentals. For example, instead of teachers giving us a project to make a handwritten report on earthquake management, maybe teachers could have given us a project on performing the earthquake management steps practically, which would not only help the students during an actual earthquake, but it would also give us experiential learning. We at a school were provided with a design learning workshop, as I told before, where we were exposed to experiential learning, and we also had various competitions held at school to familiarize us with innovation. We adopted problems affecting humanity, which could be a minor issue or any major issue, with a vision to provide solution for mankind. It can be a problem as small as with your water bottle. For example, your hands are oily and sweaty and you're not able to open the water bottle. But if you have done some brainstorming and you provide the bottle with a kink, you can open the water bottle now. That becomes a successful innovation. But in order to have done this in school, there should be a fearless atmosphere of questioning also. Maybe we students can come up with an app as a solution for our own problems. related to academics, where we can clear each other's doubt through peer learning. And this innovation approach is undoubtedly benefiting all of us students, as we are now taking hands-on approach to daily life things around us, which has further added practicality in our academics. The NEP, the National Education Policy, it integrates a lot of skill-based learning, which is paving the way for India to make a mark in the world. This culture for research is important to develop. Art integration is a very beautiful and creative way of gaining problem solving, motor, language skills, decision making, and social skills. We all aspire to be successful innovators, but that is impossible by just reading books. Books only state facts. We need to keep experiencing the same situations again and again, again and again. And this will generate ideas, and this will provide us with a vision for the betterment of society. Today, new ideas and innovative approaches emerge from day-to-day real-life issues. So it is therefore essential to not only collect these ideas, but to encourage them and reward them as well. In every class, in every science textbook, we read that global warming is having detrimental effects and that the main cause is combustion of fossil fuels. But are we students actually thinking of taking measures to find another sustainable fossil fuel? Another sustainable fuel in place of fossil fuels? No, we aren't. In every science textbook, we read that smoking is causing ill effects on our health. But are we students actually finding are we students actually finding a solution to that smoking? Yes, we try to prevent people from smoking, but then not all of them, right? We just ignore them and move forward in our lives. But what if we had just pondered for some time, brainstormed for some time, and actually observed deeply and taken beyond what is obvious? The situation would be quite different, I'm sure. We had a startup idea competition in our school, and all these common life problems were found very appropriate and reasonable solutions. My seniors had designed a cigarette which was not at all harmful to humans and environment and was made up of herbal components. The same way, my seniors also created a device wherein sound energy was converted into electrical energy. These became wonderful innovations. But for that also, I guess we need to have freedom of choices. India has become a beautiful land of opportunities today. There is no doubt in that. We students are the third or the fourth generation post-freedom, and our parents and grandparents were required to be financially stable. Hence, they did not have those options, subject choices as we have today. But since we are privileged to have a plethora of subject choices, then why not look forward for these subject choices rather than taking up the same stream, the same engineering? A team of innovators does not only have engineers playing with wires and circuits and MCBs and breadboard circuits, it has psychologists and sociologists who help in the improvisation of the product, stakeholders to find the perfect stakeholder, and in the building of the prototype. In fact, almost all engineers call electricians when they need technical support. So we students need to have the liberty to choose different new paths in life. So I would request all parents to encourage children in taking different subject choices and paths. And also at our school, our subject enrichment activities and assessments are given in teams so that teamwork is fostered in each one of us. Collaborating with other students brings up new ideas, new perspectives, and new solutions for the common topic. So teamwork fosters creativity and learning, and it maximizes the shared knowledge, which is often absent when you work in solitude. So it incubates a sense of amiable environment wherein innovative ideas are prompted, divergent viewpoints are celebrated, and creativity is lauded. As Ms. Pooja said, everything in our education finally leads to marks being the criteria for judgment. Our school grading system needs to change. At least I feel that. It pushes a fear of failing and to judge our potential. Many of my friends' parents discourage them from taking part in competitions and rather focus on studying textbooks. I would always prefer taking part in competitions as it provides an exposure to new skills and prepares us to become enterprising young adults who are not only able to observe what is constantly evolving around us, but are also able to think critically and social solution oriented. It removes a fear of failure, and as Tanmay said, which increases our appetite for taking risks. And this innovation in education gradually becomes a part in innovation in economies and societies. So innovation in school requires going beyond the normal set of rules, beyond the norms, collaborating and having blended learning. We can collaborate with our brothers and sisters from budget schools who have different skill sets than the skill sets which we have. Different sets of interactive textbooks for the underprivileged students can be made so that their educational process becomes inspirational and very innovative. So our academic-based learning can help them, and their pragmatic learning can benefit us. So it becomes a mixture of blended learning. And at last, I would say the two most important entities of our life are parents. Parents should always be supportive and supplement our learning process. They become an important stakeholder to have a significant role to play in this innovation and ideation brainstorming process. They must motivate us to apply the knowledge acquired to identify and offer solutions to problems which might appear in our day-to-day life. And that is how the innovation ecosystem is established, and we are all innovators.
ये थैंक यू सो मच वेदिका। और मुझे दो चीज़ें बहुत अच्छी लगी आप में। पहला था कंटेंट और इंटेंट, और इस वजह से ही आप यहाँ पर हैं, इस मुकाम पर हैं। और कंटेंट से मेरा मतलब है जो बैकग्राउंड स्कूल्स का, गवर्नमेंट का, इन सब का जो भी कंटेंट था उसके वजह से, और आपके खुद के इंटेंट की वजह से आप यहाँ पे हैं। और बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके इस टॉपिक पर। और एक चीज़ है जिस पर मैं फोकस करना चाहूँगा, जिस पर आपने बोला कि जैसे अभी कॉम्पिटिशन्स हैं जिसमें बच्चे लोगों को इतना इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं मिलता है, पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि ज़्यादा मार्क्स के पीछे एंड ऑल। सो आपको एक बहुत बढ़िया सी खुशखबरी गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कुछ दिनों में मिलने वाली है। वो ये कि गवर्नमेंट और इनकरेज करेगी बच्चों को, जैसे आपने टॉयकैथॉन में पार्टिसिपेट किया था, और इस प्रकार की अन्य अन्य कॉम्पिटिशन्स भी आ रही हैं। सिंस मैं एक बोर्ड मेंबर हूँ एक नए पॉलिसी में, स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी जो स्कूल्स में आने वाली हैं, तो आप सबको अच्छी खुशखबरी भी मिलने वाली है। और ऐसे ही आप सबसे, अब जो भी बच्चे आज हमको सुन रहे हैं उनसे यही रिक्वेस्ट रहेगा कि जितने इनोवेशंस और करते रहें और आगे बढ़ते रहें। इसी के साथ ही विल डायरेक्टली मूव टू ममता अग्रवाल जी, and we're looking forward for your concluding remarks. On to you, Mamta ji, now.
I have too many questions actually, but I think for the time being, I'll have to keep them and connect each one of you individually. एक तो वेदिका जी, वो आपके कीड़े को क्या क्या आना चाहिए उस चक्रव्यूह से बाहर निकलने के लिए?
मैम एक्चुअली द चक्रव्यूह में जैसे अभिमन्यु फंस गए थे चक्रव्यूह में, तो instead of having the same phenomenon again, we also devised a way to come out of the Chakravyu. So the player who comes out of the Chakravyu first is the Vijeta, and he will be the real warrior. He will be the Mahayodha.
So like you have shown that Vedic mathematics and strategy and all those things, तो आपका जो योद्धा है उसको ये सारी चीजें आना बिल्कुल जरूरी है।
वो गेम खेलते खेलते उनमें इनकलकेट हो जाएगा।
एंड आपके लिए संसद के लिए पॉलिटिक्स आनी चाहिए क्या? बिकॉज आई विल डेफिनेटली फेल, यहाँ तो आती नहीं है।
मैम संसद के लिए पॉलिटिक्स और मैथ्स और स्ट्रैटेजी सब आना चाहिए। कोalition करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो यूपी हाथ से निकल जाएगा, और यूपी निकल गया तो फिर देश निकल गया। तो
पर क्या जाने कि हो सकता है कि क्लियर मेजोरिटी आ रही हो।
मैम अगर मेजोरिटी आ जाए तो बात ही क्या।
Since we are going for the concluding remarks, and my colleague is waiting, he'll just propose vote of thanks. I would just summarize in one word by Khalil Gibran: self is a sea. Self is a sea, boundless and measureless. Each one of you is a sea, boundless and measureless. Be creative, be innovative, and be the bright future of our country. Thank you so very much. And now I would invite my very dear Soni ji to propose vote.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Indeed, it's an honor for me to propose a vote of thanks to all the panelists, the young innovators. In fact, it was mesmerizing for me listening to them. In fact, it's eye-opening for me. In fact, the way they spoke, the confidence level, the content, and as mentioned by Anil Pradhan ji, the intent even, it was unmatchable. It was really the kind of it's amazing for me, in fact, to listen the children. So first of all, I don't want to say thanks to them. I like to congratulate to them, in fact. So congratulations to you all four. Ayushi, Vedika, Tanmay, and Pooja. You are amazing. You are inspirational to many children across the country, across the world, in fact. And I wish you speak in a larger forum where other children may be inspired by your thought, your work, your innovations. So I invite you to AICTE and to the larger forum, and you inspire others to they will also try to become like you. So it was amazing. Thank you for being a part of this particular forum here. I like to propose thanks to Ma'am Mamta Rani Agrawalji. Ma'am, you beautifully started this particular session. The opening remark and the closing remark both. Thank you so much. Thank you for this powerful opening remark and the closing event. So thank you so much. Thanks to Mr. Anil Pradhan ji, who has been thread to in this entire program. We would like to interact more with you, in fact, and hope in due course we'll be interacting with you. You are inspirational to others too, in fact. Thanks to MIC team and CII team, the entire AICT officers, those who are behind the success of this program. But I don't have words to even thanks to all four children, in fact. So that's really the great. Whatever words I use, I think it will be lesser. The way they speak, I mean, it's just mesmerizing. And they're using the word mesmerizing, and especially their thought, their flow, their confidence, and the way they design the game. In fact, the toy industry in India is $1.5 billion industry, in fact, and I hope you'll be part of that in future. At least the little bit share of that industry will be with you. That's what I feel like. And you'll inspire others also. With these words, we have to go somewhere, as Mamta ma'am told. So I'll just stop here only. I enjoyed interacting with you. I enjoyed listening to you. In fact, initially I thought that children are there, of course, we'll just listen. But after listening, it was really eye-opening for me. So thank you all. Thank you, one and all.
Truly, truly blessed to be in your company, dear children. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Anilji, and all panelists for giving your esteemed time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.